Jessie L. Weston's From Ritual to Romance, Chapter 10, The Secrets of the Grail, 1. The Mysteries. But it is precisely this conception which is lacking in the Greek mysteries, and that inevitably, as Rhoda points out, the Eleusinian mysteries, in common with all Greek religion, differentiated clearly between those considered to be gods and men. There is one race of men and another of gods. The attainment of union with the so-called God by way of ecstasy, as in other mystery cults, is foreign to the Eleusinian idea, as Comte points out. The Greek Roman entities rejoice in the perpetual calm and youth of Olympus. The Eastern entities die and live again. In other words, Greek religion lacks the sacramental idea, although Greek versions of some of that stuff had it. Thus, even if we set aside the absence of a parallel between the ritual of the Greek mysteries and the mise en scene of the Grail stories, Eleusis would be unable to offer us those essential elements which would have rendered possible a translation of the incidents of those stories into terms of high Christian symbolism. Yet we cannot refrain from the conclusion that there was something in the legend that not merely rendered possible, but actually invited such a translation. If we thus dismiss as fruitless for our investigation the most famous representative of the Hellenic mysteries proper, how does the question stand with regard to those faiths to which Comte is referring, the Hellenized cults of Asia Minor? Here, the evidence not merely of the existence of mysteries, but of the widespread popularity and permeating influence is overwhelming. The difficulty is not so much to prove our case as to select and to coordinate the evidence germane to our inquiry. Regarding the question as a whole, it is undoubtedly true that, as Enrich remarks, the extent of the literature devoted to the mysteries stands in no relation whatever, gar keinem Verhaltnis, to the importance in reality attached to them. Later in the same connection, after quoting Clement of Alexandria's dictum, mysteries such as divinity are entrusted to speech, not to writing, he adds, setting such things down in writing is already almost profanation, a just remark which it would be well if certain critics who make a virtue of refusing to accept as evidence anything short of a direct and positive literary statement would bear in mind there are certain lines of research in which, as Bishop Butler long since emphasized, probably must be our guide. Fortunately, however, so far as our present research is concerned, we have more than probability to rely upon. Not only did these nature cults with which we are dealing express themselves in mystery terms, but, as regards these special mysteries, we possess clear and definite information, and we know, moreover, that in the Western world they were, of all the mystery faiths, the most widely spread and the most influential. As Sir J.G. Fraser has before now pointed out, there are parallel and overlapping forms of this cult. The name of the entity and certain details of the ritual may differ in different countries, but whether he hails from Babylon, Phrygia, or Phoenicia, whether he be called Tammuz, Attis, or Adonis, the main lines of the story are fixed and invariable. Always he is young and beautiful. Always the beloved of an entity considered to be a great goddess. Always he is the victim of a tragic and untimely death, a death which entails bitter loss and misfortune upon a mourning world, and which, for the salvation of that world, is followed by resurrection. Death and resurrection, mourning and rejoicing, present themselves in sharp antithesis in each and all of the forms.